position. I want that $15,000 bonus so I can fund my daughter's college fund. So without much further ado, I welcome Brandy to the floor.
Hey guys, hope everyone's doing great. You're talking about the sunshine. I'm sitting out enjoying the sunshine with a little one on my lap. Sorry, we have a special guest today that would not allow me to sneak off and do this call. But all right, before we jump into our guest, I am going to attempt to take this Zoom to Facebook Live. It would not allow me to this morning, so fingers crossed. Let's say a prayer. If it does work, we can tell our teams to host watch parties and share this on Facebook. But let's see what this does. Quarantine life. Our internet's all crazy. Zoom's acting crazy. Want to go play with Kaylee? So let's see. Oh, I think it's gonna work. Yeah, go play with Kaylee.
Is she gonna play?
She'll play dolls with you. All right. So it is going to allow us to go live, I believe. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Don't cry. Okay. See if we're gonna be able to go live here. Go live. Fingers crossed. Oh my gosh, it worked, you guys. We are live. Yes, the Zoom gods are working with us today. So go ahead and go host a watch party. Share this live. Okay, so this is what working from home is like. This shows you right now how anyone can do this business. You can have a baby on your lap. You can be one of the lucky ones on this call that their kids are quietly in another room. That is not me today. So doesn't matter what your life is like. You can make this business work. So as Ashley said, thank you, Ashley, for opening this call. Mike and I have been here for about 1.5 years. We are so blessed that, with everything going on in the world right now, with everything that everyone's experiencing, unemployment is on the rise, bars and restaurants are closed, service industry is down, people don't know what to do, but all of us here today are so truly blessed that we have this to fall back on. Some of us, it's our side gig, some of it's our full-time gig, but we have not skipped a beat and life is still going on. It's kind of funny. Quarantine life looks like most of our regular lives, other than Mike and I traveling. This is what our life is like. We're home with the kids anyways. But, we are truly blessed to be able to do this. Many of us do, giveaways. I know our team partnered with another team, just gave away $200 last night. We're doing it again this Sunday. All of the teams in this company love to give back and do things like that. And we are able to not only support ourselves right now during this crisis, but we're able to give away money and help others pay their bills and teach others how they can earn an income right now from home during the worst thing that our world has ever seen. So enough about me. Without further ado, I'm going to start going into our guests. I'm really excited for you guys to hear from these ladies on this call today. We have a powerhouse of speakers lined up. But we're going to start with Ashley's Ohio. I'm Ohio, living in Florida now. We're gonna stick with Ohio here for a minute, and we're gonna go right into Katie Herold from Ohio. Katie has a really unique story, especially how it can relate to what's going on right now. Katie was a full-time bartender and an event planner, which I was a bartender and an event planner in Ohio, so we have a lot in common here. She joined a little bit of money extra each month and to give herself some free time. She was able to leave the service industry for good and has made over $500,000 with this business, and she has complete freedom. I mean, guys, that's incredible. Katie, thank you so much for being on here. We're so excited to hear from you.
Hi, Brandy. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for having me. I just love stuff like this and sharing our stories because the world needs to hear what we have to offer right now. And so I made some notes so I can hopefully keep this short, but you guys, I found this business back in 2013. I was 24 years old. I was working full time as a bartender. I'm talking every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes Mondays and Tuesdays. And I also had a part-time job at the art museum in the event office. So I worked all the time. I was kind of known as the no person or the no friend or the no family member because every single time I was asked to do something, whether it be with friends or family, I always had to say no. And if I did say yes to some kind of something, whether it be, a friend's wedding on the weekend, I had this anxiety inside, like, what was I missing out on? Brandy, if you could mute Norel's, I was just having this anxiety, like, what was I missing out on? Were they busy? Was I missing out on a lot of money? And I hated that. And, I just kind of felt like at the time I was 24, I was at a point in my life where I was supposed to be enjoying life. And I just had to work all the time, you guys. And so I had the 2 jobs. I was going to college to be an event planner. I actually ended up getting my degree in tourism, leisure, and event planning. That's kind of interesting to share. And you guys, I had actually found these products 2 years prior, and I was using a skinny pack, which is our defining gel, our wraps, and our fat fighter. And I lost 10 pounds with that. And I told everybody that had a wedding to go to or an event, I was like, you have to try one of these wraps. And I just kept referring people to my friend. And she kept asking me to do the business with her over and over and over. Oh my gosh, I'll take your friend's money, but this is money that you could be making. You should do this with me. And you guys, I won't lie. I loved the product. Obsessed. But I was very skeptical about the business. I didn't want to be that person. I was like, no, I'm going to be like J-Lo. I'm going to be this big of a wedding planner, and life is going to be great, right? And when I graduated college in May of 2013, I was in for a rude awakening because my dream job did not exist in Toledo, Ohio. I would have had to move to Vegas or New York or, somewhere where that job existed. And I wasn't in a point in my life where I could go anywhere. And so I was just panicked. I couldn't find a big girl job, right? I wanted out of the service industry so bad. So when I graduated, I started looking at these jobs, some that I wasn't even interested in, but they weren't going to pay me what I thought I was worth. Okay. And so I was panicked, and 1 week and a half after college graduation, I attended a party, and this woman was in my friend's living room, and at, insert income disclosure statement, she was making at the time $6,000 a month, and I thought I could do that. I was explaining some of the products that I was using, and my friend said, geez, you know more than I do. You should be doing this. And it really got my wheels turning because I wanted freedom. And I watched a girl for 2 years who I had told no, from a small town in Michigan. She was making a 5-figure income, a very, very hefty 5-figure income, and driving a nice car. And you guys, I was driving a broke down Jeep. It was in the shop all the time. And I thought, gosh, if I could just join and have a reliable car and be able to cut back just 1 day a week at my job and have a life, that would just be incredible. And so I got started. I hopped on. I said yes after 2 years of saying no. And that was my first goal, you guys, $1,000 a month. So I could just cut back 1 day a week and not feel guilty about going to a friend's wedding or doing something fun on the weekends. And within 7 months, I exceeded that goal. And I had made a new goal, you guys. I was like, I want to make $3,000 a month so I could get out of here. By joining this company, I was already able to quit my part-time job. And so within 11 months, I promoted to the rank of double diamond, and at the time I was making about $4,500 a month. That far exceeded my bartending income, and I actually earned 2 what we called get out of debt bonuses, $25,000. And you guys, this is where I feel like I can relate to people right now in the bar industry. I walked into work one day and everyone's like, have you talked to the manager? The bar that I worked at was closing down. Our liquor license was being taken away, and they were going to turn into a diner and have one person on. I mean, we were a big time bar in Toledo, and all the bartenders were out of a job. No more liquor. And we were closing down, and everybody was panicked and out of a job. And you guys, I was so thankful that I had a plan B. I had spent 11 months building this business. When everyone in the bar industry was hating on me, I had a backup plan when no one else did, you guys. And so when I heard that the governor last month closed down the bars and restaurants, obviously for safety reasons, my heart hurt for those people because I know what it's like to rely on bars and restaurants for my full-time income, and I know what it's like to be shut down, but I also know what it's like to have a plan B, you guys, and this can be your plan B. We can be your home here. And you guys, so I was able to walk away from the service industry for good. You know, in 3 weeks, it'll be 6 years that I've been doing this full time. And, you know, I've been doing this for 7 years now. It's crazy. But so a year after that, I promoted to Triple Diamond, which is the top leader position in our company. You guys, a 5-figure income. And I was able to go out and buy that dream car, that car that everybody in my life told me that I couldn't have. I was able to walk into the dealership and pick out exactly what I wanted. And that truly meant freedom for me, you guys. I was able to move at that point into my own house. And I didn't have much, you guys. I didn't have a bed, a couch, a kitchen table. I was able to buy all of that, plus my dream car, and start spoiling my friends and family and really start planning for my future. And at the time, I started dating my boyfriend, and he lived in Vermont. Okay,
I just started like saying, like, I'm going to be spending the rest of my working life trying to pay off this debt. But a girlfriend of mine that lived 5 minutes down the road, she started posting about It Works about a year before I joined. And I just kind of watched her. It's so funny that Katie said that she watched. You know, I think the number one thing we'd all tell you is don't watch for a year or two. I mean, I kick myself all the time, but I watched for over a year. And at first I kind of made fun of her even. And then I was like, okay, like, let me go to one of her events, and I tried the greens. But I remember the day that she hit a $30,000 bonus, and Katie was talking about those huge bonuses that we have. And she was about a year in, and I was at work. I saw it on Facebook, and I just had this aha moment of like, what the heck am I doing when she's out there making $30,000 a month and I'm like drowning? So I texted her. I knew absolutely nothing. I joined that day. It's not my nature at all. I'm very analytical, very research driven, but it's not my nature at all to like just join, but just something tugged at my heart. So the other thing I'll tell you is trust your instincts, because, and thank God that I did trust my instincts that day, because it was the right time. I was ready to do what I needed to do and to really be in the business. But I really knew nothing. So that was against my instincts. What I found though was, you know, with our great training, which has only gotten better in the last 5 years, you know, there's a really clear steps to success and plan to get you from point A to point Z. And just the overall like amazing culture that we have of support and loving each other and bringing people up, in combination with the products, just being, what I found was they were just this amazing combination of being incredibly clean, high quality, and effective products with also being very affordable. I'm now down in Florida as of 2 weeks ago, but I built my business up in Maine, which is a poor rural state. So if everybody had to spend, you know, like 80, $100 on every product, like I would not probably have been able to build my business. But we have an amazing loyal customer program where that does not, you know, that the price point is much, much lower. And so I was able to move really quickly, you guys, even though I checked no box. I have to say also, because this comes up quite a bit, I wasn't on social media a lot when I started. I learned that stuff on the go, and I got a lot of support and training. And again, those trainings have even gotten better. So if you're like, well, I'm not a social media person, neither was I. But nonetheless, within 4 weeks, guys, I hit $500 a month. And that was my goal when I walked in. So to hit it in 5 weeks, it just like the hope, just like that hope that I had started to get really lost, started like blossoming again. And I started being able to breathe, started being able to dream. And so what I was doing, just because a lot of people say, like, how do you do this with a full-time job, a kiddo? Like, I'm working with a lot of my teammates that are at home full-time with a job and kiddos. Like, how do you make it work? And for me to make all these milestones, my first year, I got up to $5,000 a month. In my first year, I was just working about an hour to 90 minutes after my son went to sleep. So I did have to carve out time, but it wasn't like a full-time job. And I was almost starting to match my full-time income by the end of my first year. So my first 3 years, I really I made at least $2,000 a month every single month since August 2015, which is just a crazy stat to think about. And So my first 3 years, I continued to do my full-time job. I went through a divorce. Like Brandy said, I became a single mom, and I'm a kind of single mom where I'm 100% responsible, is kind of where we're at. So, so that extra money basically was a lifesaver. It helped me pay for the legal bills, to catch up on all the debt we were in. And, I came out of the divorce, instead of potentially feeling really broken, I felt actually put together again, because this business gave me the money to breathe and then find myself again and not have to worry. And so I was really be able to like reconnect. And I was 41 years old almost. So just reconnect with who I was because of this business, even though I had done all this stuff in the corporate world. That corporate world had not served me that way. And so the last couple of years after I kind of got out of the divorce and all that, I started dreaming bigger. And that's one of the things I'll tell you. You might join. I would say that so many of the top leaders join for just a few $100s a month. I was one of those people, and my vision just kept getting bigger as I hit goals. I was like, okay, well, what about more? What about more? So really in that third year is where, like Brandy talked about, my vision got much bigger. Like maybe I can even retire from corporate life, which was absolutely not in my mindset at all when I started, but it ended up being,
be careful with that grease.
oh, there's Nina. I ended up being able to retire at 41 when I just started moving my feet a little faster with my full-time job still as a single mom, and hit 6 figures a month. Sorry, 6 figures a year. 6 figures a month is coming, but 6 figures a year, and retired 2 years ago. So since then, you know, it's just been honestly a dream life. Made this move to Florida as kind of something that was on my vision board for now almost 2 years. Just happened 2 weeks ago, yay! And so, you know, it's just a phenomenal testimony to what's possible. And I just can't speak enough for the single moms out there. You know, there's very little opportunity for us to go and make money without leaving our homes, without having to pay for childcare or figure out childcare. And I'm just so grateful, like legitimately overwhelmed with gratitude that I found this, because I could, when Camby went to sleep, I could do this. And I knew that, you know, I was going to be making the money that we needed without having to go out and get a second job or borrow money or whatever I needed to do. So it's just such a great thing if you are either a single mom, or some people are functional single moms because their spouse travels or in the military. It's just such a great way to make that extra income.
I couldn't unmute myself there for a minute. Mira, that was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, it's so true that, you know, you can work this into the pockets of your day. You know, Mira started doing it after her son went to bed. We have a lot of kids in the house. I work it through small spurts in the day. I'll stop. While Mira was talking, actually, had a Barbie in my hand where you couldn't see on the camera, and I was making a Barbie talk to Ken. You figure it out. You work this business around your kids, with your kids, however works for you, but anyone can do this. So I know we're going to keep saying this throughout the call, but if you're a guest on the Zoom, if you're watching this on Facebook, if someone's sharing the replay with you, you know, get back to whoever shared this to you and just ask questions. Ask the right questions, or if you're ready to jump in, tell them you're ready. What do you have to lose? One thing I like to say to people is that, you know, you look at Mira and, you know, the difference in her life has the difference in her life in 3 years. Think about your current situation. Not obviously this quarantine, but that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But think about your current job. Think about if you didn't make any changes, where would you be in 3 years? Now think about if you made a change and you started something like this, and in 3 years you could retire from corporate America and be making 6-7 figures from home. Think about the quarantine. You don't know if you're going to go back to work. We don't know if the bars and restaurants, if your certain bar or restaurant, you don't know if your hair salon is going to survive. We don't know what's going to happen. So instead of sitting around and wondering and waiting to see what could happen, you have an amazing opportunity that's being presented to you that you can take control. We've been calling this our own stimulus check. This is our stimulus check. We are not waiting on the government to send us stimulus checks. We've got it right here in front of us. We just have to say yes. So I saved this last guest till the end for a reason, and I'm reading through what she sent me to introduce her. The reason I saved her, she's so humble, she didn't even put this in her bio, and I love that about her. So I'm going to go into what she said, but then I'm going to share what she didn't share which is so amazing. So Sherilynn was a stay-at-home mom. She was tired of living paycheck to paycheck. She joined to make an extra $80, guys, $80 to pay for dance lessons. That's it. She is now a 7-figure earner, and this business has allowed her family to live more, give more, and save more. Okay, she put in here she's a 7-figure earner. What she didn't put in there because she's so humble is that, you guys, she's not just a 7-figure earner. She's the number 2 income earner in our company. So I'm gonna let that sink in for a minute. We're gonna pause for a minute. She joined for $80 a month. $80 a month. How many of you spend $80 a month on dinner? I probably spend it on like craft supplies and stuff for Anya. How many of you spend that? How many of you go into Target multiple times a month and come out and you spend $80? You're like, what did I just do? Right? We can all say that. We all want Target to open back up or be back to normal. Guys, she joined for $80 extra a month, and she's the number 2. Her and her husband, John, are the number 2 income earners in our company. That is incredible, and that shows you that truly anyone can do this. Anyone. So, Sherilynn, I'm going to let you share your story. I am so honored that you're on our call today, and thank you so much for taking the time to be here.
Oh, well, thank you, Brandy. And a couple of things I want to say real quick. First of all, what I love, and it's probably been my favorite thing about this company and this industry, is that it doesn't matter your background, your walk of life. There's no mold you have to fit into to be successful. And that is exciting for me. That makes me excited. It makes me passionate. It makes me want to share this with other people. I love that Mira was a successful corporate executive, with a business owner who joined and built her business while working full time, like a full-time legit job. I've never even had like a legit job. I got married so young, and then like Katie was single, hustling, a hard worker, bartender, Brandy has a little baby, multiple kiddos, and her little 3-year-old, working it at home. And so for me, I was a stay-at-home mom when I joined. So you don't have to just be a stay-at-home mom. You don't have to have a college degree. You don't have to, not gotten to college. Like, I love that it's just, there's so many different types of people. It's really no mold to be successful. You just have to have that strong why, a reason why. And so telling you just a quick short version of my story is, my daughters were only 1 and 2 years old when I joined. My husband and I, we did everything we were told that you have to do, okay? We went to college. We both got our degrees. We got married young, so we were both still in college when we were married. So we know all about struggling. We know about qualifying for financial aid. We know about, probably my husband's job was in ministry. He was on staff at a church, and then we were going to college. So I think we calculated, we know what it's like to live on under $20,000 a year. Like, I remember our air conditioner going out in our first home in West Texas at 100 degrees. And we literally could not afford to get it fixed and had to go through the home warranty with a 2-week wait. So for 2 weeks, we lived in a home that was literally, the thermostat said 93 degrees. And a friend lent us a portable unit to put into the master bedroom, that like those window units, like to go through there. So we had one cool room, and that's how we lived. So it's like, sometimes I think people look at maybe your chapter 8, but don't know like your chapter 1, So like we've been there. And I know some of you are like, oh, that you don't know my story. You're right, I don't. And you probably have it, way worse. And it's not a comparison. It's just to say it doesn't matter what your situation now looks like. All it takes is you making a decision to change it. And so even when I found this business, I was on social media scrolling. And really what happened was, maybe 2 weeks before I found It Works, I had asked my husband, John, I was staying home. And now I look back and man, things were tight. And I knew they were tight, but we didn't have debt because John is like Dave Ramsey. We've been doing Dave Ramsey since we were 22. I'm 36. Actually, probably before we were 22. Even when we were dating, he was doing it. So we've been doing Dave Ramsey since before some of y'all even knew who Dave Ramsey was, is my guess. But so we always did the envelope system, never had debt, but we were truly just this paycheck to paycheck. I remember kind of feeling like we were on this hamster wheel and we couldn't get ahead. It was almost like we couldn't get ahead. Is it still working? I know it's Brandy's, okay, popped up, something happened, I think, with hers, but we couldn't seem to get ahead. And so I just remember asking John if Jocelyn could go, if we could start dance class. I was like, can we put her in dance class? She's 2, she's gonna turn 3 soon. And he's like, well, how much is it? And I said, $80 a month for her to do dance. And I'll never forget him. And he wanted to give me the world, but he said, Sherry, I just don't know what envelope that can come to. He's like, let me try to look at it. And then I remember him looking at the finances and he's like, babe, there's just not an extra 80. And it's crazy now because sometimes I get used to how this business is blessed and how our lives are now, but I'm like, man, we didn't have the $80. Like we did not have the extra. There was nowhere to pull it from. So I remember just being like, God, there's got to be a better way. Like there has, this is not the life I dreamed of. Like my husband can't work anymore. He does working full time, and I knew there had to be another way, but I didn't know what. It wouldn't be worth it for me to go get a job, even though my undergrad was in psychology, because we'd have daycare for 2 kids. And then I wanted to be with them. Like I wanted to be a mom. And so anyways, I remember scrolling on social media and I saw a girl posting about this business. And I'd gone to Bible college with her and it kind of intrigued me. And I kind of stalked her for a little bit. And then I remember at one point I almost unfollowed her because I'm like, her posts are like so annoying. Like she used to post about her cute son. Now she doesn't even post her cute son. And I don't want to see all this stuff about this business, but yet I was hating and I almost her. Then I was like, let me message her first. Let me find out about these products that look really cool. Let me find out about this business. And so I messaged her and I'll never forget joining. And I joined and it was $99 that we did not have. And I remember, I think I put it on a credit card and oh my gosh, John's going to kill me because he's like, credit cards for emergencies, like someone's foot is cut off before you use the credit card, And so when he got home from work, I started crying and I'm like, you're going to be mad. But that was just our reality. When it happened, I was like, I really wanted to try these products and I joined this company. And he's like, you what? Because we had been approached before by other businesses. It's always so expensive to start. It's like $1,000 buy-in. Oops, a couple people on here might need to mute. $1,000, to buy and $500 to buy, and it was just money we didn't have. It didn't matter if I wanted to join. It was like, we don't have that. And so when I told them, I'm like, it was $99, but I get over $99 worth of products, and I really wanted to try them. And I remember him saying, okay, so you paid $99 for joining, and that's what it is right now. You can join for $99. And when you join, you get over $99 worth of our Skinny Brew Fat Burning Coffee. So the absolute worst case scenario is you join, you don't do anything, it's kind of a wash. And John, as a math major, that's what he said. He's like, well, babe, you can try the products, we'll figure it out. I'll make some adjustments. He's like, if you want to quit, can you quit? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, why don't you try it? And I'm like, oh, yeah. And that's what he always says. He's like, for me, it was a no-brainer. He's like, a potential reward with 0 risk, no risk, great reward. Someone that trades stocks, he's like, yeah, that's a sure bet. I'm paying my $99, got $99 worth of product. Worst case, best case, you change your life and make multiple 7 figures in 5 years, And so that's kind of where we were. So I wanted $80, but I quickly realized, you know what? There's 3 things about this company that I had never seen. Number 1, first to market products. I am all about boss babe power. My friends that have other businesses, I cheer them on. I love seeing people, moms out there hustling. I respect that. I'm like, you go girl, you sell whatever you're selling. I will buy 10 of them, but when it comes to me, I'm not going to join a company, and I wouldn't recommend joining a company without a first to market product. I don't want to sell something that someone can go to Walmart and get. I don't want to sell something that someone can go to GNC and get. To me, that's a make or break. Do you have a first to market product? And that's the thing with It Works. Mark is so smart. They're so strategic in any product they have. It's all about first to market. A first to market body wrap that wasn't water weight. It literally, caused your fat cells to shrink. It was a first to market wrap that nobody had. First to market keto coffee into go packs that has your MCT oil, your organic grass-fed butter, and your collagen that no one else has, that you can take with you, we take and travel with. First to market, not only can you get your celery juice, right? That people are, I did it for a while, and I buying the stalks of celery and juicing it and they clean up. Oh no, you can get organic celery stock that you just mix in water. Like all of our products, the coffee, the weight loss, it's first to market products. That's huge. You're going to sell something. You don't want to have competition. We don't have competition. That's why I believe the distributors are so successful. And next, the price point. And someone else hit on it. I don't remember. I think Mira said it. Like, that's what I love about It Works. You can get a bottle of Fat Fighters that are amazing for $25. You can get, our Thermophyte X that has that next gen clinically proven ingredients in it where, studies showed people losing 3 times more weight, 30 pounds on average in 90 days, for $36 for month supplies. My mom used to buy weight loss products from a 3 times more weight a month, okay? So I love the price point. College students that love the hair, skin, and nail vitamins, and just like it doesn't matter incomes that order the product. So I think first to market product, you want to look at the price point, and then you want to be part of a ground floor company. And what I love about It Works is that there are only 100,000 reps. How can someone like me join 5 years ago and be the number 2 income earner? Like, because we're so ground floor. Like, it doesn't matter. I have girls on my team that joined a year ago that are already in the top 150. You didn't miss your chance. Sometimes people say to me even now, Sherilynn, I wish I joined you 5 years ago. I'm like, girl, the time is now. Like, we are just now beginning to, we just opened in Mexico last year. We're just starting to grow in Asia. Like, this is the time. This is the ground floor time. Like, we're getting ready to go on a run. Like, this is when you want to join. I don't want to be a part of a company with 4.56 million reps. I want to be a part of a company with 100,000 where this is the time to say yes. And so I think that's huge. And those 3 reasons are really like my 3, why I love It Works, why I feel like this is the best company. And then to throw out an extra one is, yeah, it's a debt-free company. I've had so many people ask me, so how is your business being affected with the COVID and all that? And I'm like, here's the thing. Our company is debt-free. Like, when your company's debt-free, in the middle of COVID, our CEO has a $15,000 diamond bonus you can earn for promoting to diamond. And those bonuses are real. I earned one when I went diamond. Who else? Katie earned one. Brandy's earned that. I mean, we have these cash bonuses. Yeah, Mira's earned them. It's not a lease for a car. It's not a, trip to Hawaii, which that's cool, but like, I want the cash. Like, give me the money, show me the money, right? And so I love that there's these like cash bonuses that our CEO can do that kind of thing. Our business isn't going to get foreclosed on. It's like, I think that's what I love. And there's a reason the Lord's blessed this company, and I think it's because they've just been wise with their finances, and so anyways, that's kind of like my story. So if I leave you with anything, I would just say, it doesn't matter if you're working, if you're a stay-at-home mom, if you just want a second stream of income, all you need is that why. For me, my why started small for $80 a month to put my daughter in dance class. And then I thought, wait, what if I could relieve some financial stress from my husband? Within 1 year, I matched his income. Actually, within 1 year, I doubled what he makes on Wall Street as an equity trader. Like, it's been crazy what it's done. And now my why is to help other people and see other moms and women and men, be able to go after their dreams and use it with this vehicle. So hopefully I didn't talk too fast.
No, that was awesome. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your story with us. And, as you guys have heard today, very different stories. We all come from different places. And something I wanted to share, I was watching Ashley Mayfield before we got on here, and she had some really good points that I wanted to share on here that, a lot of people watching this might say, well, I don't have a following on social media, or my friends and family won't support me, or I don't know how to do this. And you know what? A lot of the top leaders in this company, they didn't either. Cheyenne Knox, I think, came from like a tiny, small town, and she was like 18 when she joined. You don't have to, guys, so many people keep unmuting themselves. We gotta make sure when you get in here, please, please, please mute yourself out. And do not unmute yourself. Thank you. So it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what your following is like. It doesn't matter if you've done this before, if you haven't done this before, if you're new to the industry, we help you. We teach you all of that between, the leadership with the ownership down to the top leaders. We help you learn how to do that. Many of us did not have, big followings. We didn't know what we were doing. Some of us don't have, family members that are super supportive. That's okay. Anyone can do this. So I want to leave you with that. I want to thank you to, Mira, Katie, and Sherilynn for taking the time to be on here. And anyone who's watching this at home, why not? Why not? You're sitting at home right now. You have all the time in the world on your hands. Most of us are not working. Over 10 million people, the last time I checked, I'm sure it's gone up, have filed unemployment. But guess what? In our company, at the end of March, we had, 15,000 new distributors, new people start their business in the middle of this crazy crisis in quarantine. Just this month alone, we've had over 30,000 new customers. So while the world is falling apart and people are losing their jobs and their businesses and their livelihood, ours is thriving because we have something so truly amazing. So get back to whoever showed you this, whoever invited you, whoever shared the recording, and just take a chance. Have a little faith. It only takes faith the size of a mustard seed. Have a little faith and say yes. So thank you so much, guys. My child, I think, needs me, and I'm sure yours all do too. So we'll get back to our day, and I just appreciate you all for being on here. Have a great day, guys.